a bill that he would like to see passed into law. So he wants to see more sidewalks. He's actually got taller than I am too. Pretty good. He wants to see more sidewalks throughout New Jersey. So when a legislator writes a bill that he wants to make into a law, it has to go before a committee. And the committee of this will keep this in the state senate. The committee of the state senate hears what we call the pros and cons, the good things about the law or the bad things about the law. So let me have 7 hands of people who'd like to be on the committee to hear about this law. All right, back there, yeah. And yes, all right, the 2 of you can come forward. And right here, and here, and in the plaid shirt. How many do we have here now? 4 or 5, so a couple more. Young man here. Now, who are you pointing? What are you just elected somebody? All right, come on. You got your votes from your class colleagues. Okay, now we've got somebody who's going to explain to this committee why he wants this bill passed into law. So let's find somebody. You know, I did this with the 4th grade school, by the way. This past week, they wanted to be able to eat ice cream and candy all day. That was the law that they wanted to pass. And by the time we got finished, the principal had to point out to me that I had to point out to them that this was just let's pretend. Because he said by the time they got finished, they were convinced that they actually passed a new law that would allow them to eat ice cream and candy all day. We all got carried away with the idea. So I'd like 1 or 2 people who, well, wait till I give you what I want the 1 or 2 people to do. They're going to have to figure out why they wouldn't want a new law. You can't put 2 hands up. So, that young man back there in the red, with the red tie, right? And, okay, and you, come on up. And remember, you're going to have to figure out why you don't want a law passed. And now we've got the prime sponsor of the bill. Let's find a co-prime sponsor, somebody who's on his side. That's got even more people involved. Okay. You're on his side. All right, so now we've got what's called the prime sponsor, the co-prime sponsor, and other people who are against the bill. And there's the Senate president who keeps order, by the way. When we're in the Senate president is in charge. And actually, even though we're all grown-ups and we're all in elected office, we are not allowed to speak on the floor of the Senate unless the Senate president gives us permission. So it's really like the teacher in your school, or maybe even the principal. We all have microphones on our desk, and when we want to speak, it's up to him whether the microphone gets turned on or not turned on. So we have all the same rules, or a lot of the same rules and regulations that you have right here in school. So, here's your committee of state senators, and you're the sponsor and the co-prime sponsor. So the first, you know what, you're going to be the chairperson of the committee, okay? And none of you can speak unless you ask the chairperson for permission to ask a question. So the first thing you have to do is tell them why you think we should have a law that says we should have sidewalks throughout New Jersey. And come before the committee. Think of at least one good reason it was your law. I forgot. You can't do that as a safe. Well, why don't you think you want sidewalks? Safety. walking, what is it?
So mom doesn't have to yell at all those people who are walking in the middle of the road.
Okay. Well, that's a good reason. Is that his mom won't have to holler at people who walk in the middle of the road if they have sidewalks. So you're telling that to this committee as to why they should release your bill. Now, how about the co-prime sponsor? Have you got a good reason?
So people could like walk throughout the vicinity without like any danger of getting hurt.
So, he thinks we need more sidewalks so people don't get hurt because they don't have sidewalks to walk on. Okay, now we've got a couple of people who don't think this bill should get passed. We'll start out with you.
It'll take up a lot of space.
So, you think it'll take a lot of green space away, maybe, if we have too many sidewalks? Okay.
I think we have enough sidewalks. And it would be a waste of money.
Sounds like that's more popular side here. So, if you put in sidewalks throughout the state, that's going to cost money. And then what happens when you go home and your parents find out that their taxes went up because they're putting in sidewalks throughout the state of New Jersey? Are they going to be happy? Yeah, they're all going to be complaining. Okay, here's another.
I'm pretty sure you have to use some sort of chemical to make the cement, and that would be no good for the environment, even though we have sidewalks already. And plus we have to pave over some sort of, I guess, grass or trees maybe. So I don't think that's any good.
Okay, so has the committee heard the reasons we should have sidewalks? Now, what we do is, if this was a real Senate meeting, the committee members, through the chairperson, get to ask the prime sponsors or the people against the bill. And you know, anybody can come and testify at a Senate or an Assembly hearing. You can come and just sign up a form, and you can testify and say why you're for a bill or why you're against a certain bill. So does the committee have any questions that they want to ask any of these people? You have to ask the chairperson to be recognized.
Okay, so how much money would this actually cost?
Oh, a toughie. See, that's the kind of thing, if you write a bill, and I didn't expect you to know all of that, but if you write a bill and you're the prime sponsor, that's the kind of question that you have to be ready to answer. Say, well, if I want sidewalks throughout New Jersey where there aren't any, I'm going to have to figure out how much that's going to cost the state of New Jersey. So you can make up a figure.
How many roads are there?
You would have to know, as the prime sponsor, how many roads you need to put sidewalks into. See, this is not so easy. So when you think up the idea, you have to be prepared to defend it and tell why. So, who is it?
Okay. Well, maybe like if there are private roads, then public cars aren't allowed to ride on them, so we don't need to put sidewalks there. And it would save money. And we only need to put it on like public roads so that it'll save money.
From the audience on some variety of other issues, but I wanted to give you an idea of really how a bill becomes a law. Now it would be up, so we're going to just decide whether this committee is going to vote to release that bill to make sidewalks throughout New Jersey, or vote not to release it. Which, if you released it, it would go before the full Senate for a vote. If you didn't release it, the bill dies. So, call for.
Okay, all those in favor
Of releasing the bill.
of releasing the bill? And all those
I like it.
You can all return to your seats. You got the idea?